In just 3 years, Hailey Bieber turned Rhode Beauty into one of the most talked about celebrity beauty brands. The key to the brand's success is, without a doubt, Hailey herself, her image, her social media activity, and her lifestyle. All of that shapes how people perceive her products, and people perceive them very differently. Some buy Rhode sets specifically to throw them in the trash on camera, while others are ready to sing praises to her amazing peptide lip treatment. Rhode Beauty is a very polarizing brand, but today we're going to try to figure out what's behind Hailey Bieber's success and what could happen to the brand next. Rhode's story began in 2022 when Hailey quietly entered the beauty industry. She had always been interested in skincare and beauty products. To bring the brand to life, she partnered with Michael D. Ratner, a media entrepreneur and film TV producer, best known as the founder and CEO of the Los Angeles production studio OBB Media. His company has produced major pop culture projects, including Justin Bieber documentaries like Our World and other entertainment content. Michael Ratner handled Rhode's operational side, building the business, scaling it, and managing execution, while Hailey was responsible for the creative direction and the product vision. His wife Lauren Ratner is also a co-founder, a marketing executive with a fashion and brand background. She worked in marketing roles at companies like Michael Kors and Reformation, and later ran her own consulting. At Rhode, Lauren led the brand side, positioning, marketing, and building the Rhode world, and has held top leadership roles, often described as president, a chief brand role. Hailey was also responsible for the creative direction and the product vision. Later, several more women joined the team, and this was a very deliberate decision on Hailey's part. She wanted to support the idea of women's empowerment and show that together, women can build a high-quality, promising brand. Not long ago, Lauren gave a major interview where she talked about how she and Hailey first came up with the idea of creating their own brand. That idea actually started back in 2017 to 2018. I met Hailey through my husband, Michael, who worked with her and Justin on his documentary series Seasons. At the time, Hailey was considering launching a skincare line, and we started discussing what her brand could look like. From the very beginning, I quickly understood her vision and realized we spoke the same visual language, which allowed us to build a truly collaborative, creative partnership. That's where we began building Rhode World. So, what is Rhode World really? By now it's clear that Rhode stands out from other celebrity brands, at least in its visuals, marketing, and minimalism. But in the beginning, the brand went through plenty of ups and downs. First, because Hailey, as she has admitted herself, is a hardcore perfectionist. Even the packaging had to be perfect, the shade of the box and how it matched the jar inside. And that's exactly where she ran into problems. Today, Hailey admits that a perfect launch doesn't exist. It's simply part of the process. Second, Rhode's biggest issue was another company also called Rhode, which decided to sue Hailey, claiming she stole their name and, quote, is trying to undermine all the hard work we have done for our brand. Rhode clothing brand, which has existed since 2014, said that back in 2018, Hailey and her team approached them with an offer to buy the name for a certain amount of money. And as you can guess, they were rejected. Still, Hailey chose to launch her brand under that name, and a lawsuit followed. What's important here is that Rhode isn't just some made-up brand name. It's Hailey's middle name. So, personally, her desire to use it makes sense. Many celebrities do the same thing, but it was also a smart strategic move. Hailey didn't call it Hailey Bieber Beauty or put her full name on the logo, and that matters. A name like Rhode still clearly points back to her, because it's personal, but it's also clean, minimal, and brand first, not celebrity first. That gives the company more flexibility long-term. It can grow beyond Hailey, and if one day she decides to step back or even sell the brand, Rhode can still feel like a standalone skincare label, not a product line that only works as long as she's the face of it. It's a very different setup from something like Kylie Cosmetics, where the brand name is literally the celebrity's name, which keeps it tightly tied to her identity and public image. Back to the Rhode, the clothing brand, their representative said identical names can confuse customers, and that started happening almost immediately. They claimed that many of their customers, when receiving the product, would tag not their brand on social media, but Hailey Bieber's. Of course, Hailey got hit with a wave of hate online. People wrote that she acted this way because she's Hailey Bieber and knows she can get away with anything. But actually, if you dig around online, you can find information suggesting her actions were legally valid. Names can overlap as long as the product categories don't. The scandal lasted until 2024, At first, a judge dismissed the clothing brand's claim and allowed Hailey to use Rhode name. But the clothing brand didn't consider it a win for Hailey and said they would keep fighting and collecting evidence. In 2024, the two brands officially settled the dispute. It was reported that the teams had been negotiating for many, many months. The details and terms of the agreement weren't disclosed, but reportedly, they shook hands, withdrew the lawsuits, and parted ways peacefully. Hailey started with only 5 products, but now just the peptide lip product alone has at least 15 different collections. Honestly, they could make their own personal advent calendar at this point. At first, Hailey was really worried people wouldn't take her seriously. Like, who would believe she could actually be a businesswoman? But honestly, I'm impressed by how skillfully she and her team warmed people up to the idea that she was about to launch her own beauty brand. Around 6 months before Rhode was announced, Hailey started giving a lot of beauty-focused interviews. In those interviews, she emphasized the importance of proper skincare. She also shared advice for women. And what's interesting is that many of her recommendations were confirmed by independent dermatologists. And now, Hailey, a confident woman who built a billion-dollar empire, describes her brand like this. Rhode is more than a skincare brand. It reflects my values: simplicity, accessibility, authenticity, quality, and transparency. With her brand, Hailey popularized the glazed skin trend. The idea came to her during her own skincare routine. She realized she loved when her skin looked like a glazed donut, super shiny from the products applied, and that effect could be created using several Rhode products. Hailey also says her brand is affordable and high quality. Her products are gluten-free and cruelty-free, meaning no animal testing and no animal-derived ingredients. That's why, at launch, around 800,000 people lined up to buy the products. The peptide fluid that created that glazed effect was selling at a rate of 36 units per second. It took Rhode just 11 days to make its first 10 million, but obviously, nothing is ever that smooth, right? In early 2023, things turned into chaos. Rhode, and Hailey along with it, started getting canceled. First, Hailey posted a TikTok with her friends where you can hear this phrase.
I'm not saying she deserved it, but I'm saying God's timing is always right.
For some reason, people decided the phrase was about Selena Gomez, who was being criticized online at the time for her weight. The theory spread so fast that Hailey deleted the video and said she would never comment on something like that, and that she simply used a trending sound whose words were not directed at anyone specifically. But the most intense part started when Selena posted a photo of her laminated brows, where her brow tech arguably overdid it a bit. Then Kylie Jenner posted a story showing a call with Hailey, and they were also showing their brows and eyes. Selena's fandom saw it as mockery, and a war started. To be clear, the tension was already there before this. People had been side-eyeing Hailey for months, reading into old interviews, TikTok evidence, and anything that could be framed as shady. But after the brow incident, it stopped being a low-level, ongoing rumor and turned into a full-blown online war, with way more hate, way more viral clips, and way more pressure on everyone involved. Hailey received death wishes, people boycotted her brand, and constantly compared it to Selena's cosmetics. Many flooded the comments under Tiffany, Yves Saint Laurent, and Versace posts demanding they stop working with Hailey Bieber. Even celebrities who followed Hailey on Instagram got dragged because people claimed that by following her, they were supporting a woman who bullies other women. On social media, some people even filmed themselves throwing Rhode products in the trash, as if they hadn't already paid for them. Jeffree Star made a TikTok at the time saying he received a PR package from Hailey's brand, but he's against bullying, thinks Rhode is boring, and he's Team Selena. And then he threw the box into a trash can. But Hailey's fans noticed the box didn't look like Rhode's usual PR mailers. Later, Jeffree admitted he actually bought the set with his own money and threw it away. At some point, it got so ugly that Hailey, or maybe Justin will never know, reached out to Selena directly, basically asking her to help calm things down because the hate had escalated to death threats. Selena then posted that now famous Instagram story saying, "Hailey Bieber reached out to me and told people to stop the bullying and hate." And of course, even that got picked apart online. Some of Hailey's supporters felt Selena's wording sounded a bit condescending. Kylie and Hailey denied the story was aimed at Selena. And logically, less than a week later, Kylie released a mascara. And many people assumed the eyebrow post might have been teasing an eye product. But at that point, the reputational damage had already been done. And the problem wasn't only that. Around the same time, people started complaining about Rhode's peptide lip treatments, which were the brand's most popular product and basically its signature item. The complaints were about a specific product, the watermelon-flavored peptide gel. Not only did many dislike its gritty texture, but some also reported allergic reactions.
Rhode peptide lip treatment literally up my lips. I will never be using that again. I tried it on. I woke up the next day with so many blisters on my lips.
It turned out the gel contained babasu oil. The issue was that this wasn't written on the packaging. And even if it had been, many people didn't know that babasu is considered a nut-related ingredient, one of the major allergens. People online encouraged users to sue Rhode because the brand had to disclose it. But the situation is more complicated. In the US, allergen disclosures are required for food, but not for cosmetics. In other words, a cosmetic manufacturer isn't legally required to list allergens on packaging, so consumers have to research ingredients themselves. Does that excuse Hailey? Of course not. But if you want to order Rhode, you can go to the website and find a button under each product where every ingredient is listed and explained, what it is and what it does. There's no such thing as a perfect brand for every skin type. The real question is whether the brand listens to customers, changes formulas when something goes wrong, or at least tries to handle the situation responsibly. When it comes to Hailey's brand, yes, they do listen. When Hailey was just starting out in the industry, she made her approach pretty clear from the beginning. She wasn't going to act untouchable. She said they would actively read feedback, reviews, and comments, not just for PR, but to actually improve the products and the brand over time. So of course they couldn't ignore the allergy complaints. First, they offered refunds. Second, they changed the formula of the watermelon peptide gel, something multiple users later noticed, and Hailey commented on the situation herself. There were a few reviews that a certain product didn't work for a certain person or their skin type. That feels like a dagger to my heart because I want everyone on the planet to love it. But the reality is, when you have a brand, not everything will work for everyone. Reviews are obviously mixed. You can't satisfy everyone. Some people call the lip products sticky and horrible, while others say the cleansing milk and cleanser are actually decent for a celebrity brand. And some argue people buy it because it's trendy and hype it up even if it's not great. There was also a situation where a well-known influencer criticized Rhode's blush because it didn't show up well on her very dark skin. It looked not pigmented enough. Soon after she posted her TikTok, Hailey's team contacted her and sent different blush shades that suited her better. She later thanked Hailey for listening and responding, saying Hailey didn't just hear Black women out, she also acknowledged the value of their time and energy. On top of Rhode Beauty brand, Hailey also created the Rhode Future Foundation. Through it, the brand supports women-focused initiatives and works with charities that help Black women, single mothers, families needing financial support, and more. And if we return to the Selena versus Hailey competition, people online have noticed a clear pattern. Public drama between two massive stars often ends up benefiting both brands. One unfollows the other. Instant buzz. One photographs a lipstick or blush in a very similar way. And suddenly everyone is debating copying, shade, and rivalry. If it's all PR, it works for both sides, because there have simply been too many moments like this over the past couple of years to dismiss it all as coincidence. But what really sets Rhode apart isn't the endless clashes with Selena Gomez and her brand. It's the people and Hailey herself. Rhode actively uses user-generated content. The first thing you see when you open the website or the brand's social media is real people, which creates a sense of authenticity. Most competitors rely on staged shoots, not in a bad way. It's just classic advertising. But Rhode's approach builds trust. You open the site and see a regular girl filming a review in her bedroom. That feels more believable than traditional ads. And the girls' Rhode reposts feel like they're part of something bigger, not just customers. A major marketing revolution for Rhode was the phone case with a special slot designed for the brand's lip product. The case went viral and took the brand to a new level. Just imagine one mirror selfie with that case and the product inside, and the brand gets free promotion. That also boosts demand not only for the case, but for the lip product itself. Even though I personally don't find it very convenient, marketing-wise, it's genius. Like other brands, Rhode also works with influencers, sending them creative, unusual PR packages. For example, once the brand sent bloggers a giant bath bomb that you had to dissolve in water to find out what was inside. Would you post that on social media? Obviously, it's too good not to. And of course, there are collabs and brand events. This summer, for the launch of a new peptide lip product with a lemon citrus scent, Hailey and influencers took over a beach club in Spain, with everything styled in gray-yellow tones, lemon decor, and themed cocktails. Another collab that comes to mind is with Krispy Kreme for a limited strawberry glaze release, along with a stunning Hailey photo shoot. Rhode has also involved celebrities in its campaigns. Tate McRae appeared in a campaign for a lip liner. Claudia Schiffer became the face of a barrier facial oil. And together with Matilda Djerf, the brand released a holiday limited edition lip balm. Rhode also made a notable shift in June 2025 by introducing its first male face. Actor Harris Dickinson became the brand's first ever male model, fronting the campaign for the Glazing Mist, a move that signaled a broader, more inclusive direction for Rhode and its marketing going forward. Now, Rhode is entering a new chapter. In May, Hailey sold her beauty brand for an incredible $1 billion to ELF Beauty. A lot of people were confused. Why sell such a strong brand that's making great money and sitting at peak hype? But it's actually a very smart strategy. First, timing. At some point, every brand stops growing at the same speed. Selling at peak valuation is often much smarter than holding on, watching momentum slow down, and then trying to sell later when interest cools off. From a business perspective, this was an exit at the absolute top. Second, ELF is a strategic buyer. They're known for scaling brands globally while keeping prices accessible, investing heavily in distribution, R&D, and international expansion. For Rhode, that means bigger reach, stronger infrastructure, and long-term stability, without Hailey having to personally manage every stage of growth. And finally, this doesn't mean Hailey is out. Deals like this usually allow founders to stay creatively involved, while the heavy corporate lifting is handled by a major beauty group. So Rhode gets to grow into something much bigger, and Hailey secures both creative control and generational wealth. After the sale, Rhode still remains Hailey's baby. She now serves as Chief Creative Officer and Head of Innovation. Hailey also says that selling the brand was a long-term goal from the beginning because it creates opportunities for global expansion. Over the past months, profits were rising, and partnering with a larger company makes it easier to scale worldwide. That's also when it became known that Rhode would officially be carried by Sephora. As a result, Rhode's launch at Sephora became the biggest brand launch in Sephora's history in North America. According to sources, on the first day, 3 Rhode products per second were being sold, and within the first 2 days, the brand exceeded $10 million in sales at Sephora alone. And Rhode was also officially named Brand of the Year at the Glossy Beauty and Wellness Awards 2025, which is important not just as a trophy moment, but as industry validation. It showed that Rhode isn't only surviving on celebrity hype, it's being taken seriously by beauty insiders for its product quality. Let me know in the comments which Rhode products you've tried, and if you liked them or not.